Hello and welcome back. So let's move on to question 2a, which is about time signatures, and it's filling in the time signatures. So I found this a PDF by Beatrice Wilder, and I'm just going to go through some of the questions on this which cover this topic. I will also link the PDF in the description. So question 2a is going to be about you're given a passage without a time signature, and you're expected to give the time signature. And you don't need the whole passage, although it helps to have the ability to check. We only need 1 bar's worth, and we can work it out. So let's have a go just doing these 1 bar exercises. So remember from the last lesson that the number on top of a time signature is the quantity, and then the number underneath is the type. And that 4 underneath is a crotchet, and a 8 underneath is a quaver. So let's have a go with this first one here. How many beats do we have? I always go in crotchets first, so I go 1, 2, 3. So I've got this 1 crotchet, 2 crotchet, 3 crotchets. So I could write 3, 4. And that's all the question wants from me. Of course, there is the difference between something similar like 3, 4, which would be the equivalent of 6, 8, but there is a method which I discussed in a previous video of telling the difference, and I'll come to that when we get to a question in 6, 8. So let's just keep going. So let's keep going in crotchets. So we go 1, 2, we've got a rest, we go 1, 2. What does that mean? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we're in 4, 4. And remember, of course, that we can have time signatures occasionally represented by a symbol. For example, 4, 4 can also be represented by the letter C. Just something to be careful with common time, with that 4, 4 time is the equivalent. Let's keep going. So 1, 2, crotchet rest, crotchet. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's also in 4, 4. Lovely. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also in 4, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. Well, if you counted this as crotchets, sorry, I was getting ahead of myself. So if you counted that in crotchets, it would be 1.5. So I think it'd be better to do this one in quavers. So 1 quaver, 2 quaver, 3 quaver, which would be 3 quavers, or 3/8. So that's the time signature we want for that one. Let's have a look at this one. If we did it as crotchets, we could go 1.5, and that would make up the 2. So 1.5, and that ends it on 2. So that could be 2, 4, and I think that's what it is. So I'm going to put 2, 4. Lovely. Let's have a go at this one. Let's also do it in crotchet to start off with. So 1, 2. That it looks like 2, 4 as well. Let's just put that down. One crotchet, 1.5. Oh, so it doesn't look like we're going to have a nice amount for this one. So let's have a look. We do this in 8. 1, 2, 3. That's the same as we had before. That's 3/8. And so the strategy for this one is just counting out how many beats we have in the bar and then writing out an appropriate time signature. But what happens if we had something like this? So we could go in crotchets. We could go 1, 2, 3. So that would looks like 3, 4. Apart from, we can see that we have a split between 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's kind of a split in between the bar line, which means that half. It's kind of, if you have a kind of division of 1, 2, 3, 3 quavers, then a break, then a 1, 2, 3, then that means it's going to be 6/8. which numerically is the same as 3/4, apart from in 3/4 we kind of have more breaks. We go 1, 2, break, 3, 4, break, 5, 6. And you can see that, where did we have a 3/4 example? Up here. There's no, if we wanted this in 6/8, that would be a filled in, so it would be a crotchet with a dot and then a quaver tied to it over the halfway of the bar line. So I'd memorize this: dit 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 line dit 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 for 6/8. And I remember doodling this on my first paper as well that went through. So let's have a look: dit dit line dit dit line dit dit. When it's 3 distinct crotchets, it's 3/4. So let's keep going. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like 4/4 to me, or common time. I'll put 4/4 just to be safe. I think really stopping me from putting the C. I think it's just easier to have them all as numbers. 1, 2, 3. That could be 3/4. Could it be 6/8? Well, let's have a look. Where does the split come? We have a distinct group here, so that'll be these two here, and then we have this carried over, which will be these two. So that's looking like 3/4 to me, not 6/8. And what about this one here? 1, 2, 2/4. I think the only difficulty in time signatures, because knowing that the top number is the quantity and the bottom number is the type, is easy. But the only difficulty I've ever come across is the difference between 6/8 and 3/4, which is just knowing where this kind of split comes. But it's quite obvious in examples. So I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue for you. A bit more about time signatures following on from the last session. And I'll see you in the next video.